You ever notice how some dudes just can't be played? They see right through the BS. That's the Sigma male. They're cut from a different cloth. They're not sheep. They're not followers. These guys are on their own path. They're not trying to fit in. They're comfortable in their own skin and they don't need anyone's approval. That makes them dangerous. That makes them powerful. We're diving deep into the 10 reasons why you can't manipulate a Sigma male. We're talking about the traits that make them immune to the games people play. This is about understanding the psychology of strength. This is about understanding what it takes to be a man who can't be controlled. This is about becoming the kind of man who makes his own rules. Reason number 1, high level of confidence. First up, confidence. Sigma males have it in spades. They're not arrogant, they just know their worth. They've put in the work, they've tested themselves. They trust their gut. They don't second-guess themselves. When everyone else is freaking out, the Sigma male is the calm in the storm. This unshakable confidence is like a force field against manipulation. See, manipulators prey on insecurity. They need you to doubt yourself so they can swoop in and control you. But a Sigma male? He's got his own back. He's not looking for validation from anyone. He's calling the shots. Reason number 2, intellectual curiosity. Sigma males are curious. They're like, why? All the time. They want to know how things work. They're always learning, always pushing the boundaries. They read, they research, they experiment. They're not afraid to challenge the status quo. They're not satisfied with surface-level BS. They want to get to the heart of the matter. And that's what makes them so hard to manipulate. See, manipulators rely on ignorance. They need you to be in the dark so they can control the narrative. But a Sigma male, he's always shining a light on the truth. He's asking the tough questions. He's not afraid to dig deep. Reason number 3, observant nature. So, these Sigma males, they're like hawks. They don't miss a trick. They're picking up on all the little things that most people just gloss over, the subtle cues, the inconsistencies. It's like they've got this built-in BS detector that's always on high alert. You see it in their eyes, this intense focus, like they're sizing you up, analyzing your every move. And it's not just about what you say, it's about how you say it, your body language, the whole 9 yards. They're reading between the lines, trying to figure out your angle. And you know what? It's pretty effective. Because when you're that observant, it's hard to pull the wool over your eyes. You see through the facades, the manipulations, the whole game. It's like they're always one step ahead, anticipating your next move before you even make it. It's kind of freaky, actually, if you think about it. Reason number 4, strategic thinking. One thing I've noticed about Sigma males is that they're always thinking several steps ahead. They're not just reacting to the situation at hand, they're strategizing, planning their next move like a grandmaster in a game of chess. They're thinking about the long game. They're not interested in quick wins or cheap tricks. They're playing for keeps. And that's what makes them so difficult to manipulate, because they're always one step ahead of you, anticipating your every move and counter move. It's like trying to outsmart a computer. You might think you've got them figured out, but then they pull some crazy move that you never saw coming. And here's the thing about Sigma males, they're not afraid to adapt. They're not married to their plans. If something unexpected happens, they're able to adjust on the fly, change their strategy without missing a beat. It's like they've got this internal compass that's always pointing them in the right direction, even when everything around them is chaotic and unpredictable. And that's a powerful trait to have, especially in today's world where everything's moving so fast and change is the only constant. So if you're thinking about trying to manipulate a Sigma male, I'd advise against it. You're gonna get played, son. They're just too smart, too strategic, and way too adaptable. You're playing checkers and they're playing three-dimensional chess. Reason number 5, skeptical attitude. Let me tell you something. Sigma males, they don't just take things at face value. They're skeptical. They question everything. They want proof. They're like, show me the evidence, convince me. It's not that they're cynical or pessimistic, it's more like they have a healthy dose of skepticism. They understand that not everything is as it seems. They know that people can be manipulative, that information can be misleading, and that the world is full of BS. And that's why they're so hard to manipulate, because they're not going to fall for your slick sales pitch or your emotional appeals. They're going to see right through that. They're going to want to know the facts, the evidence, the cold, hard truth. They're not going to believe you just because you say so. They need to see it with their own eyes. They need to verify it for themselves. And you know what? That skeptical attitude extends to everything. It's not just about personal interactions. They question authority. They question the status quo. They question everything. They're not afraid to challenge the conventional wisdom, to go against the grain, to think for themselves. They're not going to blindly follow the herd. They're going to blaze their own trail. And that's what makes them so dangerous to manipulators. Because they can't be controlled. They can't be easily influenced. They're not going to buy into your propaganda or your BS. They're going to see right through it. They're going to call you out. Reason number 6, low emotional reactivity. Alright, so we're talking about Sigma males and why you can't manipulate them. These dudes are like the Navy SEALs of the emotional landscape. Think about it, you're trying to manipulate somebody, you're trying to get under their skin, you're trying to push their buttons, get them all reactive so they make a mistake. But a Sigma male, he's just sitting there, cool as a cucumber. He's not letting your little mind games get to him. It's like you're throwing pebbles at a tank, buddy. It's not gonna do anything. This is a huge asset in life, being able to stay calm and collected when the pressure's on. Think about any high-stress situation, whether it's a negotiation, a job interview, or whatever. The dude who can stay cool, who can think clearly when everyone else is losing their minds, that's the guy who comes out on top. And that's what Sigma males do. They stay calm, they assess the situation, and they make rational decisions. They don't let their emotions cloud their judgment. They're not easily rattled. So if you're trying to manipulate a Sigma male, good luck, bro. You're gonna need it. They've got ice in their veins. Now, this isn't to say that Sigma males are emotionless robots or anything, alright? It's not like they don't feel anything, it's just that they've mastered their emotions. They know that emotions are powerful, but they can also be destructive if you let them run wild. It's like, you ever see a chimpanzee go nuts? They're super strong, but they're also completely out of control. And that's not what you want. You want to be like a lion. Lions are calm, they're observant, but when it's time to strike, they strike with precision and power. That's emotional control, and that's what Sigma males have. They're not ruled by their emotions. They don't fly off the handle at the slightest provocation. They're measured, they're deliberate, and they're in control. And that's a powerful thing. Because when you're in control of your emotions, you're in control of yourself. You're not going to get manipulated, you're not going to get played, you're the one calling the shots. So, there you have it, another reason why Sigma males are so hard to manipulate low emotional reactivity. Reason number 7, self-improvement focus. This is a big one. Self-improvement. These guys, they're on a constant quest to be better, to level up in all aspects of life. It's like they see themselves as a work in progress, always striving, always pushing their own limits. And let me tell you, that kind of mindset, it's like armor against manipulation. Because when you're focused on self-improvement, you're not easily swayed by others. You're not looking for validation from outside sources. You're not seeking approval from people who might have ulterior motives. You're on your own path. Think about it. The more you work on yourself, the more you understand your own strengths and weaknesses. You become aware of your own vulnerabilities, your own triggers. And that awareness, that self-knowledge, it's like a superpower when it comes to manipulation. Because you see those tactics coming a mile away. You're not falling for the same old tricks. You're onto their game. And that's intimidating to a manipulator. They want someone who's easily led, someone who's insecure, someone they can control. But a Sigma male who's dedicated to self-improvement, that's a hard target, my friends. And it's not just about being mentally strong, although that's a huge part of it. It's also about adaptability. Sigma males, they're always learning, they're always growing, they're always evolving. They're like chameleons, they can adapt to any situation. And in a world that's constantly changing, that's a valuable skill. They're reading, they're researching, they're trying new things, they're putting themselves out there. They're not afraid to fail, because they know that failure is just an opportunity to learn and grow. And that kind of resilience, that willingness to embrace discomfort, it makes them incredibly difficult to manipulate. Because manipulators, they thrive on predictability. They rely on people reacting in certain ways, falling into familiar patterns. But a Sigma male who's constantly evolving, that throws a wrench in their plans. They can't predict your next move because you're always one step ahead. You're always evolving, always adapting, always becoming a stronger, more resilient version of yourself. So, yeah, the self-improvement focus of a Sigma male, it's not just about building muscle or learning new skills. It's about building a fortress around your mind, a fortress that's impenetrable to manipulation. Reason number 8. Independence from external validation. We're diving deep into the reasons why cracking a Sigma male is like trying to fight a silverback gorilla with a pool noodle. And number 8, my friends, is a big one. Independence from external validation. These guys, they march to the beat of their own drum. They don't need a pat on the back from society to feel good about themselves. They're not out there chasing likes or seeking approval from people who don't really matter. And let me tell you, that kind of self-reliance, that inner confidence, it's like kryptonite to manipulators. Because manipulation at its core, it preys on insecurity. It feeds off the need for validation from others. Think about it. Manipulators, they dangle that carrot of approval, of acceptance, of belonging. They know that most people crave those things, and they use that craving to their advantage. But a Sigma male, he's not buying what they're selling. He's already got all the validation he needs from within. He's comfortable with who he is, he knows his own worth, and he doesn't need anyone else to tell him. And that, my friends, is a very powerful thing. It's like having an invisible shield that deflects all those manipulative tactics. You see, when you're dependent on external validation, you're giving away your power. You're letting other people dictate your self-worth. You're allowing them to control you with their opinions and judgments. But a Sigma male who's independent, who's self-validated, he's calling the shots. He's not swayed by the opinions of the masses. He's not influenced by peer pressure. He's his own man, and he makes his own decisions based on his own values and beliefs. That kind of inner strength, it's like a magnet. It draws people in, but it also makes you a very difficult target for manipulation. Because you're not easily swayed by flattery, you're not impressed by status or possessions. You see through the BS. You recognize that true validation comes from within, and that's what makes Sigma males so attractive. It's that quiet confidence, that unshakable self-belief. They're comfortable in their own skin, and they don't need anyone else's approval to feel good about themselves. And that, my friends, is something truly special. Reason number 9, strong problem-solving skills. We've all been in situations where we felt stuck, like trying to figure out how to get tickets to a sold-out show or parallel park in a space that's way too small. But Sigma males, they have this knack for problem-solving that's almost like a superpower. It's like they can see the angles that most people miss. And that's why manipulating them is such a tall order. They don't just react emotionally, they analyze the situation and start strategizing. They're already 5 steps ahead, figuring out all the possible outcomes like a chess grandmaster. Good luck trying to pull a fast one on a guy who's busy calculating probabilities in his head while you're talking. They can sniff out a bad situation a mile away. It's like they've got this internal BS detector that's always on high alert. So if you're thinking about trying to manipulate a Sigma male, you better bring your A game because their problem-solving skills are off the charts. It's about questioning everything, not just accepting things at face value. And that's a quality that Sigma males have in spades. They see right through the smoke and mirrors. They're not afraid to ask the tough questions, the ones that make other people uncomfortable. They want to get to the bottom of things, understand the root cause, and find a real solution. This is why manipulation tactics often backfire on them. They're not easily swayed by emotional appeals or half-truths. They want facts, evidence, and logic. They're like human lie detectors, always looking for the truth, no matter how deeply buried it might be. So, if you're trying to manipulate a Sigma male, You're essentially challenging them to a game of mental chess that you're probably going to lose. Reason number 10. Value personal integrity. Let's talk about integrity for a second. It's a word that gets thrown around a lot, but what does it really mean? To me, it's about living by a code, sticking to your principles, even when no one's watching. And that's a defining characteristic of Sigma males. They have this strong moral compass that guides their actions. They're not afraid to stand up for what they believe in, even if it means going against the grain. They'd rather be honest and true to themselves than compromise their values for anyone or anything. This unwavering sense of integrity makes them incredibly difficult to manipulate. They're not swayed by promises of power, wealth, or status if it requires them to betray their own moral code. They see right through those kinds of superficial attempts to influence them, because they know that true power comes from within, from staying true to yourself. We live in a world where we're constantly bombarded with messages telling us who to be, what to buy, and how to think. It's easy to get caught up in that noise and lose sight of who we really are. But Sigma males, they have this remarkable ability to stay grounded, to remain authentic in the face of all that external pressure. They're comfortable in their own skin and they don't need anyone else's approval. This authenticity is a superpower in itself because it makes manipulation almost impossible. They're not trying to be someone they're not, so they have no weak points to exploit. They're not afraid to call out BS when they see it, and they won't hesitate to walk away from a situation that feels inauthentic or dishonest. They're true to themselves, and that's what makes them so hard to manipulate. So, there you have it. 10 reasons why manipulating a Sigma male is like trying to herd cats. It's just not going to happen. These guys are cut from a different cloth. They're independent, observant, and always a few steps ahead. They're not easily swayed by emotional pleas or deceptive tactics because they value logic, reason, and personal integrity above all else. They're the epitome of self-made men who forge their own paths in life and don't rely on others for validation or direction. They're the kind of guys who inspire you to be your best self, to live authentically, and to never compromise your values. They're a rare breed, and the world needs more of them. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe to the Sigma Odyssey YouTube channel for more content like this. If you believe you are a Sigma male, these next videos might help you.